Esposito, Cashman, and Hodge, the opening line for Boston, and the Flyers go Clark, Barber, and Flennett. Again, the referee in the middle. Dave Newell to his left, or to his right, was Matt Pat and John D'Amico. Sellout crowd, 15,003, and for Don Earl, he's been in finals before. We're beginning to feel the thrill of this in 16 years of broadcasting. Our first opportunity to participate in a championship, a world championship. And for the opening game, for the opening face-off of what could be a memorable series for Philadelphia, let's go Flyers and let's go Don Earl.
Thank you, Gene Hart, and once again a pleasant good evening, everyone. It's going to be Bobby Clark against Phil Esposito, the two top lines of both clubs. Dave Newell set to drop the puck on the opening face-off. It's Esposito to Cashman, dumping a bouncing puck wide to the left of Perron. Trying to clear out. Hodge keeps it in. Centering pass as Esposito was tied up in front. Bill Flett clears it back to the Boston zone. Orr has it. He'll take it behind the Boston net to our left. Orr, who is the quarterback on this Bruins club, he directs the play. Clark forechecking for the Flyers. Lead pass goes to Al Sims on the left. Through center ice. Dumps it into the Flyers corner, but offside pass is the call against Boston.
Billy Barber got a shoulder into Hodge and wouldn't allow him to slow his pace to keep on side, and pushed him into the zone legally off. Bobby Orr looks on, and of course, perhaps the pivotal player in this series. As we're interested to see whether the Flyers come out flying, whether they're a little down after the emotionalism of the Ranger victory, if the Bruins are flat after 8 days off, they have not played since a week from the night in Chicago, or whether they're fully rested and really can storm.
Flyers, of course, coming off a series that went the limit against New York on Sunday afternoon, and we're right back in action again here in Boston tonight, which is Tuesday. Bill Flett on the faceoff, drops it back to Jimmy Watson on the near side. Barber tries to bank it off the boards, can't do it. Jimmy Watson fires to the far corner to our left. Rebound taken off the boards by Cashman. He's behind the Boston net. Off the far boards for Esposito. Esposito on the right to Bobby Orr. Through center ice, trying to find an opening. Slow down and broken up by Jimmy Watson. Here comes Bill Barber. Barber muscled off the puck. Watson moves in. He breaks Hodge up. Puck kept in by Clark, but tapped to center ice by Orr. Flyers having trouble penetrating the Boston blue line. And Al Sims ties right into Bill Flett. He's going to be going off probably for an elbow. That's the call. And so the Flyers get the first opportunity to go on the power play with 18:53 to go in the first period. There's no score.
It's coming. The Schaefer 500 at Pocono, Sunday, June 30th. The world's greatest drivers are coming to Pocono Raceway, Mount Pocono, Pennsylvania. Tickets at Ticketron. Plan now. Be there. The $400,000 Schaefer 500 at Pocono, coming from Schaefer Beer.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Back here at Boston, 1:07 gone the first period. Al Sims, the defenseman, 2 minutes for elbowing Flett. Power play Flyers at 1:07.
Flyers were only able to garner one power play goal against Boston in the season series. Clark drives it back to Bladen at the right point. Gets the drive away. Tip and attempt by Clark is kicked out by Gilbert. Dallas Smith goes for it behind the Boston net along with Dornhofer. Clark ties up the play. We've got another face-off in the Boston end.
Just before we came back, Don, a fellow from the gallery gods yelled down, "Hey, Baldy, did you pay for that seat?" We turned around, and it was an affectionate salute to King Clancy of the Toronto Maple Leafs directly behind him, and to his left, the coach of the Chicago Blackhawks, Billy Ray. So, as you would expect, everyone is here.
Saw Red Kelly downstairs. Stan Mikita came in earlier tonight. Face off to the left of Gilbert in the Boston end. McLeish back to Bladen at the right point. Deep in the right wing corner, gets by Dornhofer. Clark has it. Tries to return the pass to Dornhofer. McLeish has it behind the net to Clark. Clark back to McLeish in the left wing corner. Back to the left point. DuPont slides it across for Bladen. Gets the drive away. Tip and attempt is blocked by Dallas Smith. DuPont keeps the puck in the zone. Gets by Esposito. Centering pass again blocked out by Gilbert. And it's Esposito trying to clear out. Kept in by Bladen. The big drive from the point. Big save. Gilbert kept in by McLeish. McLeish closing from the left. Across to Bladen. Overskates it, and Esposito clears it down the ice. A great setup, but Tom Bladen overskated the pass. And Clark will start the rush from behind his own net with 1:09 left on the penalty to Al Sims. Clark leads Dornhofer on the right wing. Broken up by the back checking of Don Marcotte. He clears it into the seat, so the faceoff will be in neutral ice as we've got a stoppage in play. Don't forget that during every Flyer game, each Flyer that scores a goal receives a free case of Tasty Cake, +1 for Liebhaus, 639 Church Lane in Philadelphia.
Flyers have worked that effectively with the pass into the corner to McLeish after the rebound shot, looking for Bladen breaking it from the right point, but the Bruins read it and broke it up.
1 minute left on the advantage to the Flyers. Bladen outside the Flyer line on the far side to the near side for Jimmy Watson. Goes through center ice, fires from the red line to the right wing corner of the Caron, handled easily by Gilbert behind the net for Marcotte. He's tied up by Simon Nollet, and Vadnais jousting in there as he gets his elbows up high on Bill Barber.
Well, the only two evidences so far of somebody trying to establish something have come from the Bruins, Al Sims and then Vadnais, both coming in high. Sims picking up the penalty, and that time Vadnais leaving a calling card against Billy Barber's chin.
It's going to be Barber against Greg Shepard right on Gilbert, and he kicks it to the far boards and cleared the length of the ice by Don Marcotte. Marcotte, one of the truly fine two-way hockey players in the NHL today. Jimmy Watson starts the rush out to the right side of his own net, cuts to the left side as he tries to find the skating room. Straight down the middle now, off the skate of Vadnais, dared to the far corner by Gilbert. Marcotte has Nollet tied up. Bladen at the right point gets his shot away, knocked down in front. Barber can't find it, but Marcotte does. 2-on-2. Marcotte across to Shepard, gets a weak shot away, but offside is called against Boston as we're down to 13 seconds remaining on the penalty to Boston's defenseman Al Sims.
Marcotte is always a threat offensively. He, along with Sanderson, Orr, Westfall, and Esposito, set the National Hockey League record for shorthanded goals 3 years ago with 25, and Marcotte had a key position in that. All right, 13 seconds left on the penalty.
Face off now as the Flyers go with Kindrachuk, Zaleski, and Schultz. Dallas Smith winds around the Flyer net to our right. Joe Watson will start the rush. He's hemmed in by Marcotte. Gets the pass ahead for Schultz. Bumped from behind by Shepard. Schultz continues to fight for it. Now it's Vadnais. Across for O'Reilly as Boston is back at full strength. O'Reilly takes it in behind him. Bumped by Zaleski. Back to Dallas Smith. Smith, rolling puck, knocked down in front by Shepard. And we've got a penalty coming up on DuPont for holding. And this will be the first Flyers penalty. So with 16:36 left in the first period, there's still no score.
Join the Pepsi people. Feel it free, feel it free. Like the Pepsi people. You be you, I'll be me. All across the nation, it's the Pepsi generation. Here today, here to stay. Feel it free.
Andre DuPont for holding Terry O'Reilly in front of Bernie Perron as the play came up ice. Picks up the Flyers' first penalty in the second, call by Dave Newell. Just 17 seconds after the Bruins had killed a 2-minute elbowing penalty set up by defenseman Al Sims. DuPont now with 36 series penalty minutes, and the Bruins with their big power play go out against Clark, Barber, Jimmy Watson, and Van Impe. And it will be Esposito with Busick and Hodge, Vadnais, and Orr.
Esposito set to draw with Clark. Busick is considered the key to the success of this power play. Hodge back to Busick. Shot is wide to the stick side of Perron. Busick gets it back from Hodge again. Left point to Vadnais. Vadnais back on the left wing corner for Busick. Out to Esposito. Shot, great save. As Hodge takes Perron down on the Flyer crease. And here comes Barber to center ice. Barber bounces one to the Boston backboard. Gilbert taps it behind the net for Orr. Around to Busick on the left wing, hops over his stick. Barber drops it back to center ice at the red line. Van Impe backs into his own zone. To the near side for Jimmy Watson. Looks for an opening. Orr intercepts at the red line. Busick on the left wing, back to Orr. Closing. Shot. Great save for Rod. Cleared in front. Now to the near side. Esposito puts it behind the Flyer net. Van Impe is there. Kept in by Esposito. On the right wing, back to the right point, Orr. Straight down the pipe, it pops high in the air. Glove save, Perrant. This time he holds on.
And again, you see the thing that the Bruins do that the Rangers cannot or could not do, and that's swarm in front of the Flyer net. On that last Esposito shot, it was Hodge in there really screening off Perrant and taking down Jimmy Watson, who couldn't control the big 212-pound, 6'2" right wing. And the puck caught part of Perrant of the post and went wide. But again, the Flyers now are going to have to keep those Bruins out from around that net.
Esposito against Terry Crisp to Bernie Perrant's left. Controlled by the Bruins. Or at the left point, deep in the right wing corner. Hodge right in front of Perrant. Busick tried to get his stick down. Couldn't do it. Esposito right on the stick of Van Imp. Can't clear out. Or keeps it in. Deep in the right wing corner. Centering pass is blocked off. Jimmy Watson taken down by Hodge once more. Busick pulls it away from Crisp. Back to the left point. Vadnais' shot is wide. Rebound comes back to Orr. Crisp tries to take a swipe at it. Misses. Here's Esposito over the net. Hodge behind the net. Back to the left point. Vadnais. 37 seconds left on the penalty to DuPont. Van Imp trying to tie up the play and does so against the Flyer backboard.
When the Bruins work the puck as they're doing now, it's just a thing of beauty to watch. Great puck control, great speed control, and of course the key man Orr at the right point, and I think also Busick in the left wing corner to the right of Perrant. He scored 3 against Chicago in one game. That tied a Stanley Cup record in 2 in 1 period. You overpower or try to keep on Hodge and Esposito, and that seems to leave one of those men the left or right side of the net.
One big secret, Gene, the Bruins keep their power play unit intact, unlike New York that will make the changes every so often. They don't go with the same unit all the time. Clark wins the faceoff to Joe Watson around to the near side for Bill Barber. Barber bumped from behind by Hodge. Orr across to Busick. Intercepted by Clark, and he taps it to center ice. Tries to get by Orr, but Orr sweeps it wide. Now it's Clark intercepting. Clark for Barber across the Boston line. Holds up there. Comes back to center ice. Tied up by Hodge. Orr trying to dig it loose. Finally whistled down as we're down to 10 seconds left on the penalty to Moose DuPont.
Well, we've had both teams operating on the power play. The Flyers were very effective on theirs and challenged Gilbert. And the Bruins also swarming on theirs, as for the most part, they kept the Flyers pinned up in the Philadelphia zone. 10 seconds left. We played 5:14 of a scoreless first period.
Flyers win the draw. It's Joe Watson inside of his own zone. The length of the ice. We're down to 4 seconds left on the penalty to DuPont. Orr starts the rush in second gear out of his own zone. DuPont is back as Orr hits center ice. Orr across the Flyers line. Pulls up short. The drive. Great save. Perrant almost lost direction on it, though. It lay at his feet. Finally did clear it out. Orr keeps the puck in. Esposito bumped in front by Bladen. Joe Watson tries to find Lonsbury, but it's kept in by the Bruins. Orr's drive is wide again. To the far side, Edestrand, deflected by DuPont. Orr again the drive. Knocked out in front, and McLeish back passes, picks up his own pass across the Boston line, straight down the middle. Glove save Gilbert, and he drops it off for Orr behind the Boston net. Orr starts out. This time it's a slow move out of the Boston end. Drops it off for Darrell Edestrand. Edestrand picks up speed as he hits for the Flyer blue line. A weak rolling backhand is stopped by Perrant. Joe Watson reverses direction on Esposito. Tied up from behind by Esposito. Double teamed as Cashman moves in. Again forcing the face-off in the Flyers' end.
And don't forget the Philadelphia Wings open their home schedule on Sunday, May 19th against the John Ferguson coach Montreal Quebecois. Now the Wings ticket office at the Marriott, because of demand, will be open tomorrow until 9 p.m. and all day Saturday. Wings and the National Indoor Lacrosse League.
Greg Shepard between Bobby Smots and Wayne Cashman as Gwidlin shakes up his lines a bit as Busick just came off the power play. Flyers control Bladen behind his own net to our right. To Joe Watson, bouncing puck picked up by McLeish at center. Flyers off the Boston backboard, but Cashman takes the rebound. Cashman, a very much underrated player. His lead pass for Shepard knocked down by McLeish at center. Off the boards, but now picked up by the trailing Dallas Smith. Tied up from behind, Lonsbury, now to McLeish. As the lights flicker here at the Boston Garden for some unknown reason. Now it's Dallas Smith at center ice. Off the stick of Shepard. Gets the drive away, but it's blocked off by Watson. Here's Dallas Smith. Looking to shoot on the forehand. Does fire, but it's deflected wide by McLeish, and Joe Watson moves it ahead for McLeish as he comes to center. Fires long, glove save Gilbert. Thus far, the Flyers have been pretty much being forced to fire at a long range at the Boston netminder. McLeish keeps the puck in, knocked down by Edestrand. Now here's Schmott, blocked by Jimmy Watson, picked up by Dallas Smith. Smith across the Flyer line, weaves his way around Dornhofer. Dallas Smith tied up by Van Emp. Jimmy Watson in the corner. Now tied up by Greg Shepard. Puck still in play. Shepard trying to get control of it, trying to center it, but it's intercepted by Dave Schultz. Schultz starts out of his own zone. Gets it ahead for Dornhofer. Back passes, but Schmott intercepts, and back come the Bruins. Broken up by Schultz from behind, and back comes the hammer. The drive from the line way wide. Rebound hits a strange configuration in the boards in the Boston end. Now it's Schmott, kept in by Kinderchuk. Across to Selesky. Selesky on the forehand, blocked off by Edestrand. Selesky tied up as Cashman picks up the loose puck. Down goes Kinderchuk. Cashman loses to Schultz. Centering pass. Selesky, backhander, wide on the short side. Kinderchuk controlling. Shot right across the goal mouth. And now it's Schmott, the length of the ice. This will be icing against Boston as the Flyers mount a bit of pressure on their own.
Hey, we just received a telegram from Billie Jean King of the Philadelphia Freedoms, who said, "Go Flyers." She said, "We wish the Freedoms were in Boston, but since we're not in Pittsburgh, we're in Pittsburgh." We'll talk more in a minute. But with 11:33 remaining in the first period, there is no score.
In a Ford Model T, you can depend on just about everything, except the weather. In a Ford Pinto, you can make your own weather. Pinto's price is so low you can afford a sunroof, air conditioning, a rear window defroster. The economical little Pinto. Base sticker price $24.42, excluding dealer prep, destination charges, title, and taxes.
See your local Ford dealer. He's 6 car dealers in one.
Back at Boston, 11:33 remaining, scoreless first period. Crisp against Savard.
Andrei Savard, the rookie, flanked by Don Marcotte on the left wing and rough tough Terry O'Reilly on the right wing. Kept in by DuPont, intercepted by Orr, takes behind his own net as Flett takes him to the boards. Sims moves it up to Marcotte on the left wing. Wing-to-wing pass, O'Reilly. O'Reilly keeps it on its way as Bruce Cowick is seeing first duty tonight here in the first period. Playing on the left wing of this line. Lead pass too far for Cowick to reach. Gilbert is going to be out of the net to clear it to the glass as Cowick flew in off that left wing, but Gilbert just did beat him to the puck. Flett behind the net, intercepted. Kept in by DuPont. Backhander picked up by O'Reilly, and O'Reilly just dumps it ahead. DuPont back in the Flyer zone. Cuts in front of Perrant. Leads Flett on the right wing at center. Takes the long shot right along the ice. Routine save, Gilbert. Terry O'Reilly takes it behind the Boston net from right to left. Marcotte up the left wing. Blocked off by Chris. Picked up by Sims. Sims gets by Crisp as he lay prone on the ice. Joe Watson intercepts. Retreats deeper into his zone. He gets some more room. Crisp back to DuPont. Across to Joe Watson on the far side. Back to Crisp. Crisp has an opening down the middle. Fakes the shot into Cowick. His shot way wide. On the short side, Marcotte left wing. Picked up by O'Reilly at center. Back passes to Savard. Left for Marcotte. Broken up at the Flyer line by Bill Flett. Savard flips it right back into the Flyer backboard. Joe Watson right at the side of the Flyer net. Perrant taking no chance. Had to tie up the puck himself.
Again, we talked about that Billie Jean King telegram. She said they wish they were here in Boston, but they're in Pittsburgh tonight, so the entire Philadelphia Freedom team is rooting for the Flyers to bring home the Stanley Cup. That's right, the new World Team Tennis entry from Philadelphia is in Pittsburgh tonight playing the Triangle. Now, the world premiere of this World Team Tennis concept was scheduled for 7:30 tonight on 29, but since we're here in Boston at Preempt Tennis, we'd like all of you fans to know that the Freedom debut will be seen tonight immediately following tonight's hockey telecast on TV 29.
Face off in the circle to the right of Perrant. Clark against Esposito. Clark tied up by Cashman. Here comes Simon Nollet. He's broken up by a poke check by Dallas Smith. Cashman reverses to Dallas Smith on the far side. Tried to lead Esposito on the far boards, but it got by him. Van Imp in his own zone. Crosses to Barber on the near board. Bounce pass to Clark. Here's Nollet trying to get by Dallas Smith. Pulls up short, but he's checked off the puck. Now it's Ken Hodge. Hodge controlling. Checked by Bobby Clark. Gets it back behind his own net to Carol Vadnais. Vadnais leads Esposito at center. Right wing pass Hodge. Barber back. The shot deflected by Barber to the backboard. Hit the glass. Van Imp sweeps it ahead for Barber. Trying to lead Clark. Tied up by Esposito. Now it's Clark to Nole again. Blocked off by Vadnais, and here comes Boston. Vadnais winds it around the Flyer boards. Around least behind his own net for Jimmy Watson. Hodge upended. It's going to be Bill Barber who's going to be going off for either hooking or tripping. A shot by Vadnais finally tied up, and it's going to be for interference. And so with 9:08 left in the first period, there's no score.
You know, sometimes being a kid can be a real problem, like with Tasty Cake, for instance. They tell you Tasty Cakes are made with great tasting things like milk and butter and eggs. They tell you they're loaded with kids' favorite flavors like chocolate and butterscotch. They even tell you they're fresh baked daily. The only problem is they can't tell you which one to choose. Tasty Cake. All the good things wrapped up in one. Just like kids.
Billy Barber at second before had a little trouble with Hodge on the wing that time. Had trouble controlling him along the near side on a clearing pass. Tripped Hodge. He was fixed for interference at 10:52. The third penalty of the game, the second against the Flyers, called by Dave Newell. For Barber, 18 penalty minutes in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Bruins are really swarmed when DuPont was off 7 minutes ago. Have another opportunity.
Face off to the left of Perron in the Flyer zone. Brett Shiro going with McLeish and Lonsbury as his penalty killers to start this penalty. Draw goes back to Orr at the right point. Orr on the backhand tries to wind it into Cashman. Cashman behind the net for Busick. Busick back to Orr at the right point on the forehand. The drive knocked down by Lonsbury, and he'll skate it out. McLeish heading for the Boston zone has to pull out of the zone as Lonsbury crosses. Lonsbury off the backhand and knocked down by Gilbert, and it's picked up by Orr. Orr starts out slowly. Boston on the power play. Orr fakes the shot across the line, but offside Boston, and right now, let's pause for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
This is WTAF TV, Philadelphia TV 29.
Back at Boston Garden, Gene Hart with Don Earl, 133 on the penalty to Billy Barber. 8:41 remaining in a scoreless first period.
On the face-off, controlled by Boston. Vadnais to Orr off the stick of Esposito into the Flyers near corner to our right. To the left of Perron, cleared out of the zone by the Flyers by Bobby Orr at the right point. Vadnais will take it behind his own net, start the play from there. Very seldom do you see the better defensemen cut in front of their own netminder unless there's plenty of skating room. Here comes Esposito deep on the left. Shot, glove save. Perron skates it out, moves it ahead for McLeish. Hit hard by a check thrown by Vadnais, but the puck is cleared back to the Boston zone. Now a door at full speed across the Flyer line. Here's Busick closing. Shot wide on the short side. Centering pass back to Vadnais. Vadnais to Orr. The drive. Orr has it tipped it in. And it's 1-0 Boston on a power play goal by Wayne Cashman off the stick of Bobby Orr, who drove it from the right point. That time they sent Busick in flying on the left wing by himself as they continue to put on the big pressure. Perron made the save, couldn't control the rebound. It went back to Orr, who fired. And again, as the Rangers weren't able to do, Cashman was right in front of Perron, as was Esposito. And the puck may have gone in cleanly, but I'm sure there may be a deflection in there. Orr will get one of the assists at 12:08, and Boston leads on the power play with Barber in the penalty box. It was the quick rebound pass back to Vadnais from Busick as Orr shot, and it may have, to anybody, gone to Wayne Cashman. Again, for the Bruins, that's their 10th power play goal in Stanley Cup play of this season. The Flyers coming into tonight's game led all power play teams with 11. We'll wait for the official. It's 1-0 Bruins on a power play. Joe Watson on the far side. On the right wing comes to center ice. Fires off the stick of Dallas Smith. Routine save Gilbert. Leaves it for Edestrand. Kinderchuk stays with Edestrand. Schultz has the puck, puts it behind the net. Selewski goes in for it along with Dallas Smith. Smith gets wide of Schultz. Comes out the near wing. He drops it off for Bobby Smots. Reversing direction, now try the left wing. And Schultz broke his stick as it gets caught in the back of the Boston net. Backhanded by Selewski, box blocked by Dallas Smith. Forbes broken up by Kinderchuk. Dave Forbes, Bobby Smots, and Greg Shepard, the line on for Boston. Here's Forbes. Around DuPont, deep in the left wing. Trying to cut in front. Blocked off by Perron. Now it's centering pass. Shepard to Forbes. Shot. Goal. Shepard is 2-0 Boston.
Bruins are storming, and they're pressing, they're diving, and they're jamming, and they've got the Flyers disorganized. And that time it was the Flyers unable to control on the first play of ice by Forbes as he turned Joe Watson. The puck went behind, and on the other goal, it was dealt out in front, and closing right in was Forbes. And he shot. The rebound was right behind Perron, and there was Shepard to bang it home. And for Greg Shepard, who's having a tremendous series, playoff series, that was for him his 10th playoff goal, and it's 2-0. The goal comes at 13:01. And so the Bruins, as they have so often this year against the Flyers, have banged in 2 quick goals within a minute. This one coming at 53 seconds.
They gave Cashman the first goal. Shepard got the second one. Orr and Vadnais the assist. As we're back to live action here at the Boston Garden, Bobby Orr chases the puck back into the Boston zone. Vadnais picked up an assist also on the second Boston goal from Forbes and Vadnais. Shepard the goal scorer. Here comes Sims. Lead pass, and we have a breakaway. A shot wide of the net off the stick of Andre Savard. Savard battles Joe Watson for it. Jerry O'Reilly spun around by Chris behind the Flyer net. Flett tied up by Savard. We've got a face-off to the right of Perron in the Flyer zone.
Well, the Bruins certainly are not rusty at all or showing a lack of sharpness because of an 8-day layoff. They've swarmed early and will pick up the account of the second goal. Shepard, his 10th playoff goal, and that time Savard was sent in alone. And Dallas Smith and Forbes get the assist at 13:01 on Shepard's goal. And again, the Flyers are having trouble containing the big, strong Bruins in their own zone.
On the face-off, Savard battles Bladen for it. Chris gets it up, but it's intercepted by Marcotte on the wing. He takes Chris down. Now around to the near side, Bruce Cowick drops it back to Ed Van Emp. Flyers are trying to get organized, get something going. Van Emp just flips it toward the Boston zone. It goes off a Boston stick. Gilbert leaves it behind for Orr. Orr pulls up short, reverses direction on Cowick. Now it's Orr around to O'Reilly on the right wing. Takes a hard check by Bruce Cowick, and they both go down. Now it's Orr for Boston across the Flyers line. Takes the shot. Here comes Marcotte closing. Off the stick arm of Bernie Perron. O'Reilly's shot. Down goes O'Reilly, and we've got a stoppage in play as Bladen is on the bottom.
Right now it's Custer at the Bighorn as the Bruins have just been flying ever since the penalty to Sims was killed and the Flyers got rid of their power play. They're just breaking in on the left and right wing. Busick has had a breakaway. That time Marcotte. Early it was Savard. And the Bruins are flying. The Radnor Summer Hockey Camp begins its third year, June 24th, with Fred Shiro and Mike Nicolak. All of the big Flyers will be there for the best in hockey instruction. Your spot now can be reserved if you write the Radnor Rink in Villanova or call 527-1230 during the working day.
For Wayne Cashman, that was his first power play goal in Stanley Cup play this year, and his 4th overall. Flyers control the faceoff. It's Simon Nollet crossing to DuPont, coming out of his own zone. Has to go back for it as he overskated it. Now it's Joe Watson on the right wing. Reaches center ice. Knocked down by the skate of linesman Matt Pavlich. Cashman across to Dallas Smith. Smith throws a backhander to the Flyers' corner. Rebound controlled by Joe Watson. Watson reverses on Cashman. Starts out the right wing boards. Now comes to the left as his pass is too far ahead for Joe Watson ahead. Now it's Clark. Clark trying to get by Esposito. Lead pass intended for Nollet. Knocked down by Dallas Smith. Broken up by Clark. He's tripped up, and Dallas Smith's going to be going off for tripping. The Flyers get the man advantage for the next 2 minutes of play. And with 4:51 left in first period play, it's Boston 2, Flyers nothing.
Decatur Income Fund, a way to invest, a way to put your money to work. Decatur Income Fund is a mutual fund investing for current income without undue risk to principal. For a free prospectus, see or call your securities dealer.
Back here, the 4th penalty of the game called by Dave Newell against Dallas Smith for tripping Clark at center ice, getting a little bit of Clark's knee with his own. And the Flyers have an opportunity with their second power play of the game to cut into that Bruins lead, which stands at 2-0. Not only did they display the speed tonight of a Montreal Canadiens team, but also brute strength.
Boston has no question controlled this first period of play as they lead 2-0. Flyers trying to get something on the board as they have the one-man advantage. Bill Barber in no hurry to start the rush. Forechecking for Boston, Greg Shepard. Barber through center ice, bounces one all the way to the Boston backboards. Back picking it up is Marcotte, checked from behind by Dornhofer. Clark comes out from behind the net, tries to stuff it in. Another shot is gloved by Gilbert as Marcotte moves in between them to check Clark out of the play.
Flyers have had their opportunities, not only when Sims went off on the penalty, but following DuPont's penalty at 3:24. They had a couple of good plays at Gilbert, particularly Kindrachuk, Selesky, and Schultz. And so their offense appears still sharp, but the Bruins, again, have been overpowering for the last 12 minutes of this period.
Face off to the left of Gilbert in the Boston end. Clark loses the draw. Al Sims winds around for Marcotte. Marcotte pops it over Barber's shoulder all the way back to the Flyers zone. Tom Bladen behind his own net. Comes out the left side, leads McLeish on the left wing. McLeish through center ice with Dornhofer. Across the Boston line, McLeish pulls up short. Bouncing puck, Bladen overskates it, or looking for some opening, and just lobs it to center ice where Clark covers it at the red line. Clark, lead pass intended for Dornhofer, broken up by Sims, and he lifts it the length of the ice. 1 minute straight up left on the penalty to Dallas Smith of Boston. Barber starts out slowly. Barber to center ice with Kindrachuk and Dornhofer breaking. McLeish also on. One defenseman on this power play is Tom Bladen. Kindrachuk along the far boards, tied up by Greg Shepard. Now Bladen closing, looking to get the shot away into Dornhofer. Centering pass blocked out by Sims, kept in by Kindrachuk at the right point. Off the boards for Bladen. Into Barber, backhander, stopped by Gilbert. And now it's Sims looking to clear, kept in by Kindrachuk, but now Orr will do the damage as he clears ahead to Esposito. Esposito at center, Orr closing, the shot wide. Maybe got a piece of the post. Now Nole on the left wing, gets around to Sims check. Loose puck picked up all the way back to the Flyers line by Jimmy Watson. The pace picks up. It quickens as Watson dumps it into the Boston zone, but it dumps the length of the ice by Sims. DuPont will catch it before it's icing as Boston changes lines. Cashman on with Esposito and Hodge. Here's Lonsbury trying to go wide on Vadnais. Gets behind him, but he's tied up. Moving in is Cashman to break the puck loose. He's tied up from behind by Kindrachuk, but still maintains control. Drops it back to Dallas Smith. Puck at center ice. Jimmy Watson. Watson looks. Fires it off the Boston backboard. Gilbert leaves it for Vadnais. We're down to 2:20 left in the first period. DuPont fans as he tries to keep the puck in the zone. Chris takes a shot in the head from Ken Hodge. Hodge to Esposito. Shot smothered by Jimmy Watson. And the play is whistle dead as Ken Hodge and DuPont go at it.
There's a first bit of temper that's flared. And two strong boys, certainly Hodge the bigger of the two, trying to get DuPont off his feet, and D'Amico is in there trying to separate them as everyone else is paired off. And Terry Chris politely is using his stick to clear the dropped equipment away from the two combatants. Now Pavlich is in there, and so far we have no punches, really, just a bear hug. And Cashman looking on and hanging on to Jimmy Watson. Esposito standing alongside Lonsbury, and Chris keeping an eye on Dallas Smith while Vadnais was over on the far boards. Well, we'll get penalties out of this, and they will come at 17:51. And again, the first display of animosity after the Bruins lead 2-0. The greatest show on earth coming to the Spectrum for 3 fabulous weeks starting May 29th through June 16th for 36 thrilling performances. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey presenting 24 fantastic acts never before seen in America, including Mishu, the world's smallest man, only 33 inches tall. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus alone in its greatness. Tickets $350, $450, $550, and $650. On sale now at the Spectrum at Ticketron locations. For further information, call DE 40500. So DuPont and Hodge each pick up 2 for roughing at 17:51, and the team will play 5 aside as Dave Newell has now called his 5th and 6th penalties of the game, and they're evenly divided. The Bruins cashed in on one to Billy Barber for a power play goal, the first of the game, and came back 53 seconds later to take a 2-0 lead on a goal by Shepard.
Face off to the right of Perrant as both teams will play one man short. It rolls right through the legs of Flett and Cashman all the way in on Perrant, and he makes the save, and it draws the use of the capacity crowd here at the Boston Garden as they thought that might have snuck by Perrant. Again in that same circle to the right of Bernie. Crisp against Esposito. Face-off drawn back to Ed Van Imp. Van Imp, lead pass for Bill Flett, gets by him, and it's going to be icing against the Flyers as Vadnais touches up first. According to Matt Pavlich, we'll have a face-off again in the Flyers zone. 1:56 left in first period play. Flyers trail 2-0. Power play goal by Wayne Cashman, his 4th series goal. A goal by Greg Shepard, his 10th. He trails Rick McLeish by only 1 as the top scorer in series play thus far this year.
Up to tonight in their playoff series of 10 games, the Bruins have picked up 168 penalty minutes, and the Flyers in their 11, 371.
On the face-off, Crisp battles Esposito, and Crisp holds off Esposito as Jimmy Watson comes to center ice. Watson across the Boston line, holds up, takes the shot. The follow-up shot by Crisp is tied up by Gilbert as Gilbert made the initial save. The rebound came to Crisp, but he didn't get a full piece of it, and it just skidded in on Gilbert very slowly.
Might have been just bumped enough to lift the heel of the stick off that rebound shot, and it just trickled in on Gilbert as Crisp was in position and just got enough of it to roll it in on Gilbert, who had to come back from an awkward position to protect, although I think had he not been there, the puck didn't have enough steam to roll in on its own, and there was Vadnais on the other side to protect. 1:45 remaining first period, 2-0 Boston.
1:34 left on the double minors, being served by Hodge and by DuPont for roughing. Puck comes back to the Flyer line. DuPont just outside the line, intercepted. Shepard upended by Van Imp, and he's going to be going off. That, I guess you'd have to call, falls into the category of a good penalty because Shepard would have been walking in alone on Bernie Perrant.
And they were looking for a penalty shot there as Shepard just on a Van Imp mistake had a clean breakaway, and he was pulled from behind, and by all the rules that could have been called one, and I don't think you could have really disputed with Dave Newell as Shepard was behind everyone breaking for the goal and was fouled from behind. But despite the saving of what's going to be a goal or a sure shot on by Shepard, Van Imp in the box now picks up the Flyers' 4th penalty, the 5th penalty, makes that 4th of the game, and it puts them at a decided disadvantage. 4 skaters for the Bruins to 3 for the Flyers, and that'll go for almost all of the remaining 1 minute and 32 of this period as DuPont and Hodge have 1:23 remaining on their minors for roughing.
Flyers go with McLeish and the Watson brothers. Boston has Esposito, Busick, Vadnais, and Orr. On the face-off, McLeish goes down. Vadnais now kept in by Orr behind the net. Perrant leaves it for Jimmy Watson, who's trying to clear and does by Bobby Orr the length of the ice as we're down to 1:19 left in the period. Flyers shorthanded as Van Imp goes off for a hooking Greg Shepard on a breakaway. Now it's Orr starting out the left side. Flips it across for Esposito at center, across to Vadnais, but offside is called Boston as Vadnais was a jump too quick of the Esposito pass across the Flyer line.
The Bruins really look like they're flying, but I think, Don, without making excuses, the Flyers, you would assume, have to be a step slower. Fatigue off that New York series.
Well, that's why we said at the top of the telecast, the Flyers didn't miss a beat as they came out of the New York series, and here we are in Boston tonight. Offside again, this time Esposito, as we're down to 52 seconds left in the first period of play. 43 seconds remaining on the double minors, being served by DuPont and Hodge for roughing. 1:20 left on the Van Imp penalty.
John Busick, who came with his club in 1957 from Detroit, holds all the Bruin career scoring records, most goals, assists, and points. But if Esposito hangs on long enough, he ought to fly by that in the mid of his career.
Bobby Clark back to Jimmy Watson inside of the Flyer line. Watson clears the length of the ice. Vadnais will pick it up from behind his own net. Vadnais out the left side. Crosses to the near side for Still Esposito. Esposito through center ice across the line. Now Busick on the left wing corner drops it back to Orr. Orr gets by Clark, drops it back for Vadnais. Vadnais into Busick. Great save for Ron. Busick takes his own rebound, but it's broken up by Jimmy Watson. Clark off of Watson's stick to center ice. 20 seconds left in the period. 10 left on the penalties to Hodge and DuPont. Here's Vadnais dropping it off for Busick. Now on the near side to Orr from the right point. Shot is off the stick arm of Perrant. DuPont and Hodge are out. Flyers still one man short. Kicked ahead for DuPont. Knocked down by D'Amico. Now picked up by Clark as time runs out. DuPont and Vadnais almost going at it at the buzzer. And so at the end of the first period of play, the score is Boston 2, the Flyers nothing. Making more mistakes than the other club. Bernie Perrant.
Clark for the third period with Gilbert to our left and Perrant to our right. Let's go Flyers and let's go Don Earl.
Clark on the faceoff, drives it back to DuPont. DuPont controls at center ice, gets across the red line, fires it around the Bruins boards. Gilbert leaves it behind his own net for Bobby Orr. Orr feeds off to Esposito on the right wing, cuts to the middle of the ice to avoid DuPont, drops it back to Orr. Orr coasting through center ice, picks up speed as he sees an opening. Going deep in the right wing corner, centering pass, backhand glove save, Perrant. This time he holds on as Esposito was lurking along the near side, fended off by the defensive work of Joe Watson.
You know that Orr, whether he's traveling three-quarter or full speed, deep into the corner, whether he's checked forehand or backhand, always manages to get one in dangerous position, tip, deflection, or a shot on. He's just an amazing performer.
One of the true super athletes you'll find in any sport today. Or any day. Face off to the left of Perrant as Clark and Esposito both are going to be waved out.
And it's going to be calling him tight.
That's right. Barber and Hodge will take the face off. Barber trying to draw it back to DuPont. Clark digs it out. And now it's Clark skating to center ice on the left side. He's got Flett streaking on the right wing. Off the backboard. The drive by Flett goes right across in front of Gilbert. Barber battles to keep it in. Hodge trying to move it out of the Boston zone. Tied up by Moose. DuPont will have a face-off in the Boston zone. Midway between the near face-off circle left and the Boston blue line.
Don, one of the factors that may at some time or other play a role in one of the games here is the rickety boards, which have chips and cuts in them, and the glass, which are separated by brace plates. And this is where you can get those oddball deflections and caroms.
And we've seen a few already tonight. Al Sims trying to move it out against the forechecking of Lonsbury. Puck popped all the way back to Van Imp at the Flyers line. Lonsbury against Orr along the left wing, broken up by Orr. McLeish upends Hodge. A shot by McLeish is wide. Rebound controlled by Orr. Takes it behind the Boston net. We're a minute 4 seconds into the third period of play as Orr gets by McLeish across the Flyer line. The drive blocked off by Van Imp. Loose puck in front. Just goes wide as Esposito got a stick on it. Puck kept in by Cashman. Dornhofer dumped it back into the Flyers' corner. Hodge gets inside Lonsbury. Van Imp moves in, trying to tie it up and does, with a face-off coming up in the Flyers' zone.
Kenny Hodge has always seemed to take a beating from the Boston crowd, despite a 44-goal season and a big one this year. But he's so big and strong in the corners. He's tough, he's aggressive, and he's 6'2", 214 pounds. He's scored over 240 goals for the Bruins in his career since being traded here with Esposito and Stanfield from the Chicago Blackhawks. Born in Birmingham, England.
One of the many still active players in the National Hockey League, born in Europe. DuPont gets it off the near boards for Lonsbury. McLeish gets it by Schmott, gets around Vadnais deep in the corner, but has lost his stick. Now it's dug loose by Gary Dornhofer. Dornhofer loses control of the puck, picked up by Dallas Smith in the corner to our left. Schmott sends Shepard away. Left wing pass Busick, back on the right wing to Schmott. Smott's trying to go wide on DuPont into the right wing corner. Centering pass, he fanned on it. This time it's intercepted by Watson, but kept in by Vadnais. His shot is wide to the far side. Lonsbury ahead to Dornhofer on the right wing. Dornhofer broken up by Shepard. Puck picked up by Dallas Smith. Dornhofer almost stole it back again, but Dallas maintains control. Smith across the Flyers line. Shot deflected to the backboards by Joe Watson. Now it's DuPont. He's out the left wing side. Leads. McLeish can't control the passes. It was off his skate. Back inside the Flyers zone, Joe Watson. Joe Watson moves it ahead on the right wing to Dornhofer, up to McLeish. Left wing pass for Schultz. Hits his skate. Goes to the Boston backboard. Schmatz is there first. Schmatz trying to come out the left side. Is tied up by Dave Schultz as he takes him into the boards. And the Boston fans are calling for a penalty on that one. Now it's Vadnais on the right wing from center ice. Winds it around the Flyer boards. Perrant leaves it there for Tom Bladen behind the net. Bladen looks for an open man. It's Kindrachuk through center. Fires it to the Boston right wing corner. Goes behind the net. Gilbert puts it right on the stick of Schultz. Schultz to Selesky. Tries to throw it in front. Blocked off by Gilbert. Now it's Shepard winding it back this way for Vadnais coming out the right wing. Vadnais cuts the other way. Bounces a pass off the boards for Dallas Smith. Shepard winds it around the Flyer boards as both teams are vying for position. The lead pass gets by Schultz, and this will be icing against the Flyers with a face-off back in the Flyer zone to our right. And so with 16:30 left in third period play, the Boston Bruins lead 2-1.
Years ago, my father used to take me to a men's store on South Street. I used to get 2 pairs of pants and a comic book. Look, today, out here in Bala Cynwyd, I can't even get fitted right. Some of those places in the shopping centers don't even have a tailor. They send it out somewhere. At Boyd's, you get the right fit. They have 31 tailors. And the fitters at Boyd's, the ones who make the chalk marks, I know they're good. They can talk with pins in their mouths.
Come back to Philadelphia. Come to Boyd's.
Back here at Boston Garden, 16:30 remaining in regulation play. Savard, Marcotte, and O'Reilly against Selesky, Kindrachuk, and Schultz. Bladen and Van Imp the defense. The face-off to the left of Perrant.
Kindrachuk battles Savard for it. Puck is between Kindrachuk's skates. Savard gets it to O'Reilly. Centering pass blocked off by Bladen. Kindrachuk tries to throw it ahead for Schultz on his right, but it's blocked off and sent right back in as Schultz almost takes Al Sims right into the Boston player bench. O'Reilly intercepts in the right wing corner. Loose puck. Cleared all the way by Orr to center ice. Flyers going with Schultz, Kindrachuk, Selesky. Boston counters with Marcotte, O'Reilly, and Savard. Van Imp shakes Marcotte. Savard breaks up the play. Look out, O'Reilly, a turnaround shot. Saved by Perrant. O'Reilly drops it back for Sims at the right point. Puts it behind the Flyers net. Perrant keeps it on its way for Schultz on the left wing. Schultz gets to center ice, gets around an O'Reilly check. Marcotte dumps it back to center ice for Savard. He's got O'Reilly with him. Savard pulls up short in the Flyer zone. Trying to spin away from the tight checking. Loose puck cleared out by Van Imp to the line as Orr is spun down by Schultz. O'Reilly in the right wing corner. Glove save Perrant, and he holds on as Savard was waiting on the doorstep.
Well, that time Orr, and Don, I would think Orr introduced that move, that real pivot move at the point, as he's challenged on one side, a complete pivot to open himself either left or right. And other players have now tried to emulate that, but they often don't have the quickness or the smoothness of Orr. That time he got around, but the Flyers were able to get a piece of him and take him down, and thus he couldn't set the play up and only slide it into the zone.
Face off to the left of Perrant. Clark draws it back to DuPont in the Flyers' corner. Winds it around to the far corner for Simon Nollet. Nollet has trouble holding the puck. Now it's Clark tapping it to center ice. Held off by Dallas Smith, but here comes Nollet. The drive deflected by Vadnais way up over the glass behind Gilbert. We'll have a face-off in the Boston zone.
That hit the palm of a head, as you could hear the slap. Nollet, of course, the big speed of the Flyers is always dangerous, and that time sped up on that right wing. Bruins on after that ferocious first period. It could be that while they weren't rusty from the 8-day layoff, they may have lost a bit of their conditioning and legs in that time despite practices, and they're not skating with the same intensity as they did earlier, thanks to Flyer checking.
Face-off bounces to center ice. Nollet drops it back to DuPont, but he raised his stick above the shoulder level and made contact with the puck, so Play is immediately halted at that point. Face-off will be just outside the Bruins line.
Don't forget Game 2 here, and radio and television coming your way Thursday night at 7:30 with a radio pregame show at 7:25. 15:04 remaining regulation play. 2-1 Boston.
Clark between Nole and Flett against the Esposito line. Clark wins the draw inside the Boston line, but it's stolen right off his stick by Vadnais. He's played steady defense tonight for Boston. Clark can't contain Vadnais as he gets by him to center ice. Drives from the red line. Glove save by Perrant. Flett takes the rebound. Gets inside Esposito behind the Flyer net. Around to Nole in the right wing. Just dumps it to center ice. Vadnais swats it to the near boards. Picked up by Clark. Up to Flett. Across the line. Can't get a shot away as Cashman poked it right off his stick and he fanned. Out front. Watson's going to get a drive. Hits a post. Another shot by Clark. He scores! It's all tied up with Bobby Clark. Has scored for a case of tasty cake. Time of the goal comes at 5:32 of this, the third period of play.
Well, Joe Watson has been a pivotal man in both the Flyer goals. There's a little bit of extra hustle. Sprung that puck free from behind the net back to Watson at the point. First shot, the second block, the third went to Clark on the rebound. He couldn't shove it past Gilbert, but on the third try, got it under his pads to flip it home at 5:32. And for Bobby Clark, his third playoff goal, and that should come from Joe Watson at 5:32.
So now it's the McLeish line on for the Flyers as we have a brand new hockey game. It'll be interesting to see what effect that Flyer goal has on the Bruins. Shepard breaking up the play. His shot, glove save for Perrant. He very wisely holds on as both Shepard and Schmatz were waiting outside for the rebound.
The world premiere of the Philadelphia Freedom's Pittsburgh Triangle team tennis match, originally scheduled for 29 at 7:30, will be seen immediately after this game's conclusion.
Back to the action. A shot by Orr blocked out by Lonsbury. Orr challenged by Lonsbury inside the Boston zone. Orr will take it behind the Boston net. Lonsbury circles in front of the net as Orr starts the play. Everybody's all-star is just toying with the puck now at center ice, looking for an opening. Fires it into the seats as he tried to catch the taller glass in the corner, but missed it on the short side. And somebody's got a souvenir the hard way. Face-off will be outside the Flyers' line.
Well, Joe Watson, who did not have a spectacular season during the regular season on goals or assists, has been outstanding here. And coming into this playoff series, Joe had just 1 goal and 1 assist. Or correction, let's look. We're looking, he had 1 goal and 2 assists, and he's doubled that assist total here.
Nole also picking up assist on Clark's goal. Ed Van Impe flips the pass ahead for Lonsbury on the left wing. He's through center ice. Ahead for Dornhofer, but he was a stride offside, so the play is going to be called back. Face-off in neutral ice. Rick McLeish did not fully agree with the call, but I've never seen a call change yet, Gene.
No, and the Garden crowd has that anticipatory quiet now as they show concern over this turn of events.
Face-off control by Boston. Shepard jams it to the Flyers' right wing corner to our right. Van Impe banks it off the near boards intended for Lonsbury. He's broken up by Orr. Controlled by Schmatz. Goes deep in the corner. A shot deflected wide by Tom Bladen as he cut inside Orr. Now it's Dornhofer coming out of the Flyers zone as he cut right between a pack of Bruins. Dornhofer broken up by Sims. Now it's Bladen flipping it over Sims back to the Boston backboard. Flyers send out DuPont along with Schultz. Dornhofer battles in the Bruins left wing corner. Puck control now by Boston. It's Greg Shepard cutting right in front of Gilbert. Crosses to the near side for Orr. Orr slows down play. Fires from the red line. Glove save Perrant. Sweeps to the side to the near side for Bladen. Lead pass off the boards intended for Schultz. Controlled by Orr. Orr up to Sims. Up to Shepard. Now across to Bobby Schmatz. Deep in the right wing corner. Weak shot wide to the backboard. Busick takes down Dornhofer. Puck kept in by Sims. Goes to the backboard where it's Perrant behind the net. Breaking up the play. Dornhofer will be tied up by Shepard. But Watson gets the puck loose. Busick tries to cut inside of DuPont right around the Flyer net, but was held off. Now it's Schultz at center. Can't control the pass. Both teams playing tentative now. It's Orr. Drills the pass across to Savard. Shot. Great kick save. Perrant got his right skate out. And now it's Chris as Joe Watson tied up Savard, and the Bruins fans are looking for a penalty there. Schultz across the red line. Has to come back for the loose puck. Trying to use brute force to get loose of Savard. Now it's deep in the Bruins left wing corner, but Vadnais is there first. Around to Dallas Smith. Up to Marcotte, left wing. Lead pass as Savard comes. To Schmatz, right on the money. Schmatz holds inside the Flyers line. Takes a check from Dave Schultz. Now it's Savard being challenged by Joe Watson. Vadnais out front, blocked by Perron, right in the goal mouth. Now it's Schultz behind his own net. Schultz shakes Marcotte, spun around by a hook thrown by Andre Savard. O'Reilly checks him, but Schultz keeps right on going as the Flyers change line. Here comes Dallas Smith. Smith bounces one to the Flyer backboard. DuPont clears over the head of Savard to center ice, where it's Vadnais. Vadnais dumps it ahead for Marcotte. Offside pass, and with 11:14 left in the third period, the score is tied 2-2.
Oh, hello there, Fred.
Hi, Harry.
Doing some entertaining this weekend, huh, Fred?
Yeah.
I expect you'll be having lots of folks stopping by, unexpected like.
You're right.
Yeah, you just can't tell who'll be dropping in.
Don't get caught short. Buy Schaefer by the case, just in case.
Hey, Emma and I thought we'd stop over tonight. We were going to bring along some Schaefer, but I guess you'll have enough.
Schaefer, when you're having more than one.
11:14 remaining in regulation play, and the game is tied at 2 as the Flyers fought back. Second period goal by Kindrachuk. Third period goal by Clark as Beth Gidlin, tonsorially splendiferous tonight, but concerned, and directly below us Freddie Shiro, the inscrutable coach.
On the faceoff, Barber drops it back for Bladen at the red line. Bladen just lobs one in on Gilbert. He gloves it, drops it at his feet for Vadnais, who's tied up by Clark. Now it's O'Reilly reversing the puck to the left wing, Marcotte. Marcotte ahead for O'Reilly, broken up by Clark, picked up by Marcotte. Through center ice, across the Flyers line. The drive, kicked out by Perron. Marcotte centering pass as O'Reilly was tied up. Now the Bruins are starting to buzz once more. Flyers have got it tighten up defensively. Bladen blocked the pass from behind the net, and it's tied up there as we've got a pile of bodies. Ed Van Impe on the bottom, Terry O'Reilly, Tom Bladen. As they get up slowly, we'll have a face-off to the left of Perron.
Great job tonight by the Flyer defense as they're going with 4. Tommy Bladen, Joe Watson, Van Impe, and DuPont. The absence, of course, of Ashby, we know that, and the loss of Jimmy Watson at the 6:46 mark of the second period as the third man in, a set to between Van Impe and Wayne Cashman. Now the Flyers will make a change as out comes Esposito and company, and Flyers counted with McLeish, Lonsbury, and Dornhofer, DuPont, and Joe Watson.
I think Tom Bladen has played a very tight game, a very steady game tonight. For someone who's had his problems of consistency over the regular season, I think playoff play has agreed with him. Come up with some great moves in this period alone. Flyers will go with McLeish, Lonsbury, Dornhofer. Face-off now is to the right of Perron. And it's the Esposito, Cashman, Hodge line on for Boston. That line has been playing against the Clark line most of the time tonight. Watson winds it around to the left wing for Lonsbury. Gets by him, and it gets by Orr also. Orr takes it back inside of his own zone behind the net. Now picked up speed as McLeish is right on his tail. McLeish tries to match him stride for stride. Drops it off to an open wing. Picked up his own carom. Crazy rebound, Gene, as Lonsbury dumps it to center ice. And that's exactly what we were talking about. Some of these boards here have rough edges where the puck will take a crazy bounce. Joe Watson tries to hold up until Dornhofer clears. In so doing, he loses the puck. Now it's DuPont wrapping it back out off the left wing boards. Or inside of the Boston line. Takes it right in front of Gilbert, now behind his own net. This time McLeish waits out front. Esposito will drop it back, this time to Al Sims. Sims reaches center ice. Past the midway point of the third period of play. Cashman upended by Dornhofer. Now it's Joe Watson being checked tightly by Esposito. Esposito wants to throw it out front. Cashman gets it in the corner. Shot off the pad of Perron as he came out to meet the shot, coming out of that deep corner to the left. Now it's Hodge in that same corner, tied up by DuPont. Now it's McLeish with Lonsbury. Now Dornhofer joins the group. Pass off his skates, goes behind the Boston net. Dornhofer trying to circle, one-hands it, but it's picked up by Hodge. Dornhofer continues to swipe at it. Clark overskates it. Lansbury checks Cashman, but Hodge gets the shot away, hits the outside of the post, and carried into the corner, and Clark controls. Coming up the left wing. Clark hits center ice. Across the Boston line. Clark still going. Shot right off the stick of Gilbert. Bladen's going to get a drive. He fires, but it's blocked by Cashman. And we've got a penalty coming up. Double minor, I think, to Gilbert and to Clark. And with 8:53 left in the third period, the score remains tied at 2.
Decatur Income Fund, a way to invest, a way to put your money to work. Decatur Income Fund is a mutual fund investing for current income without undue risk to principal. For a free prospectus, see or call your securities dealer.
Well, we've got Clark going off with Vadnais. As Vadnais hooked Clark and spun him around, Bobby retaliated with the stick, so Clark picks up 2 for slashing, and Vadnais 2 for hooking at 11:07. Flyers' 10th penalty and the Bruins 7, the first 2 in this period, and it comes 11:07, and they'll skate 5 aside. 8:53 remaining in regulation play.
Flyers will go with Terry Crisp and Simone Nollet as their forwards. Faceoff will be in the circle to the right of Gilbert. Ed Van Impe and Tom Bladen at defense. Boston goes with Shepard and Schmatt. Faceoff, shot on goal, and it's kicked out by Gilbert as Orr starts from behind his own net. Crisp forecheck. Dallas Smith returns the puck to Orr behind the Boston net. Crisp, who's played a steady series defensively for the Flyers, continues to play fine hockey. Dallas Smith has to retreat against the forechecking of Crisp. Now they bunch up across the way in front of the penalty box. The puck squibs loose and goes behind the Flyer net down to our right. Van Impe around to Crisp. Crisp just dumps it. Not out, though. Kept in by Orr. Van Impe will catch it. Passes off to Terry Crisp in the corner to our right. Crisp returns it back to the other corner for Van Impe. Van Impe looks for the open man, just flips it the length of the ice. Crisp will get there first. Crisp centering pass to Nollet, but we've got a whistle for offside, and with 8:04 left in the third period, the score is 2-2.
Say you need to borrow $1,000. Normally, the interest is added in advance. Then your monthly payments are figured on this much. Now, Girard Bank has a new kind of loan. It's called the simple interest loan. With this loan, every time you make a payment, you pay interest only on what's left. That means you save money when you double up on payments or make payments early. And since the interest rate on this loan is lower, you'll save even more money. Girard Bank's simple interest loan. It's simple arithmetic.
That's John D'Amico. As it appears, one of the braces that holds the panes of glass together at the top has become dislodged as a result of a body check over there. Now Gilbert has given D'Amico the stick to try to repair it. And while they're doing that, the Spectrum Boxing Department presents a classic confrontation of the boxer, Bobby Bugaloo Watts versus the puncher, Eugene Cyclone Hart, on Wednesday, May 22nd. The North American middleweights will meet in a 10-round neighborhood showdown. Watts boasts a 23-3-1 record with 10 KOs, while Hart is 24-3-1 with 23 knockouts. Tickets are $5, $7, and $10, and they go on sale Monday, May 6th at the Spectrum and Ticketron outlets. Cashman and Shepard, 53 seconds apart, midway through the first period. We'll give it to you now, as it appears we're going to have a longer delay to repair there. 12:08 of the first period. Cashman from Vadnais and Orr at 12:08. At 13:01, Shepard from Forbes and Dallas Smith, 2-0. Second period at 7:47, Kindrechuk from Joe Watson to make it 2-1. And here in the third, Clark from Nollet and Joe Watson at 5:32. It's a 2-2 game. So with 8:04 left in the third period, it's 2-2.
After a hard day's work up and down the ice, these little flyers really appreciate a tasty break. Any time is time for the great taste of a tasty cake. Great tasting because tasty cake is made with great tasting things like milk, butter, and eggs. Take a tasty break and see for yourself. Tasty cake. All the good things wrapped up in one.
Back at Boston Garden, 8:04 remaining in the third period. Bobby Clark and Carol Vadnais have a minute and 11 seconds remaining on their concurrent minors. Clark for slashing and Vadnais for hooking. As Gilles Gilbert with his mask looks on, and directly to his right is former Philadelphia Rambler goaltender Ross Brooks. And there is Bobby Orr in a position that most visiting teams would like to see him. On the sidelines watching, yeah. That'll be a new bumper sticker. Bobby Orr chooses nails. As much as you hate to see him out there, Don, the National Hockey League and sports would be much the poorer without him.
He's a great advertisement for the game of professional hockey in the National Hockey League. You can almost trace the explosion of NHL interest to the coming of Bobby Orr on the NHL scene.
And he's worn the mantle of greatness with great aplomb and ease, and he's still very unaffected and a warm and charming guy to meet.
For those who know him, he's a very, very almost impeccably human individual.
Don, I'm curious now as to what this delay might mean. Well, it will take the edge or concentration off. Whether somebody, you look here, this is the kind of situation where one team or the other could slap a quick goal in on an error on this brief letdown.
Face-off rides right in on Perrant. He controls the puck and moves it behind the net for DuPont. Loose puck, look out, back to Dallas Smith. Smith into Shepard, but he was tied up by Joe Watson. DuPont reverses direction behind the Flyer net to our right. Looking for the open man, winding it around for McLeish coming out the left wing. He's got Dornhofer with him, fires from the red line, glove save, eye high by Gilbert, drops it behind for Dallas Smith. Now it's Schmatz trying to move out. Schmatz back passes to Orr, who will start out the left side. He feeds Greg Shepard, who back passes to Dallas Smith, who's trailing, and Smith comes to center. Smith across the Flyers line, taken off the puck and spun to the ice by Joe Watson. DuPont trying to move out, broken up by Shepard, but trailing the play is McLeish. Lead pass intended for Lonsbury, and he's offside.
Again, McLeish, Lonsbury saw the possibility for a break, went. McLeish saw it, fed the pass. It was deflected enough to slow it down and send Lonsbury in, preceding the disc for the offside. 7:11 remaining in the third period. 18 seconds on the penalties to the Boston Bruins' Carol Vadnais and the Flyers' Bobby Clark. Teams playing 5-a-side in this duration. 18 penalties, 11 to the Flyers. And the Bruins come out with Esposito, Orr, Cashman, and Sims against Crisp, Dornhofer, Joe Watson, and DuPont.
On the faceoff, just outside the Boston line, inside the Boston zone goes Wayne Cashman with it right behind his own net, and he pulls up short there. He and Orr crisscross, and Orr takes the pass on the left wing side, now crosses to Cashman on the right, through center ice. Gets by DuPont. Cashman centering pass across the Sims. Closing, his shot is wide. Rebound comes all the way back to the Boston zone, and Orr is on it for Boston as Chris tailed him. Two natives of Parry Sound, Ontario. Dornhofer breaks up hard, stops it back for Clark as he's back on the ice. Taken down by a check thrown by Al Sims is Terry Chris. Now it's Orr again. Orr off the right wing boards for Hodge, backtracking inside of his own zone to the corner. Orr to Al Sims in the far corner left. Return pass to Orr. 2-2 the score. 6:24 left in third period play. Cashman across the line. Winds up, the shot is deflected way wide. Hodge tries to throw it in front. Loose puck picked up by Dornhofer. Back passes, but Vadnais there. Backhander, deflected just wide of the Flyer net. Now it's Joe Watson. Watson trying to work his way out. Dumps it ahead to center ice, but intercepted by Vadnais as the Bruins starting to tighten up themselves. Now it's Vadnais from the red line around the Flyers' right wing boards behind the net. Perrant stops it for Van Epp. Van Epp up to Selesky. Selesky pulls it around Dallas Smith. Here comes Kindrachuk on the right wing. Across the line. Shot. Stopped by Gilbert on a deep rebound. Schultz can't keep it in the zone and is back at center ice. Tom Bladen off the left wing boards for Schultz. He's got room to shoot. Pulls up short and is upended by Dallas Smith. Kindrachuk closing out of the corner. Intercepted by Cashman. Van Epp shot. Hit Schultz. Backhanded by Selesky. Kicked out by Gilbert. Another centering pass. Kept in this time by Bladen. His drive. In front, it's loose, but it's cleared away by Esposito, and here comes Ken Hodge. Hodge up the right wing. The big slap shot blocked by Van Impe. Hodge gets it back again blocked by Van Impe. Hodge gets it a third time. This time it goes back to center ice. Dallas Smith could not keep the puck in the zone. And for the first time tonight, Gene, boos by the Boston fans. Puck goes to the Flyers' backboard. Esposito gets inside of Bladen, and it's tied up for face-off in the Flyers' zone. And with 4:51 left in third period play, the score is 2-2.
At Jack Lang Clothes, you'll find the Palm Beach Fashion Fiver, a suit with an extra pair of contrasting slacks and 2 belts. You can wear it as a suit or as a sport outfit. It's 3 outfits in 1 and comes in a variety of colors and patterns. Jack Lang Clothes, 14 great stores to serve you. Now we're everywhere.
In a sense, here at Boston Garden, you're almost near a sudden death situation, as it's most likely the next goal would be the winner. 4:51 remaining, regulation time. Savard, Marcotte, and O'Reilly against Clark, Barber, and Flett.
Face off to the right of Perrant. Apparently, Bep Quidlin has abandoned sending the Esposito line against the Clark line and is now going with Savard, O'Reilly, and Marcotte. And now Savard is thrown out of the face-off circle as he argued a bit too vehemently with linesman Matt Pavlich on the alignment of Bobby Clark. It'll be Marcotte against Clark. Clark draws it into the corner for Joe Watson. He winds it around for Bill Barber. Barber leads Clark at center. He's got Flett open on the right wing. Flett takes the pass. Shot muffled by the stick of Al Sims. Clark comes out of the corner. Gets by one man. Broken up by Gilbert. And now it's Marcotte. Clears it by Joe Watson. Savard battles Watson for it, but he ties up Savard. Now it's Sims from the red line. A hard check by Flett on Sims. Marcotte back to Orr. Intercepted by Barber as Orr gave the puck away, and you don't see that happen often. Orr will take the rebound off his own backboard, leaves O'Reilly. Puck kept in the zone by McLeish as the Flyers change on the go. Bladen out there, along with Dornhofer. Marcotte fires to the Flyers near corner right. Van Impe up the boards intended for Lonsbury, broken loose by Savard. Savard into O'Reilly, goes behind the net with it. Battling Van Impe for it. Bladen moves in. Lonsbury broken up by Marcotte. Loose puck. Here comes Marcotte out of the corner. Cleared out by Van Impe. And here comes Bladen. Bladen gets it to center ice. One hands it ahead for Dornhofer. Dornhofer across the line, cuts inside. Lonsbury loses control. And the puck is cleared back to center ice by Vadnais. 3:35 left in third period play. Puck loose on the left wing at center. It's Lonsbury. Stopped at the line by Vadnais. Vadnais gets by McLeish. Vadnais across the Flyers blue line. Drops it off, but McLeish taps it to center ice. Shepard will have to wait. No one's challenging him. They let Busick get all the way out of the deep right wing corner. Now Smith jammed along the far boards by Dornhofer, and we've got a stoppage in play. Right now, let's pause for station identification on the Flyers Hockey Network.
TV 29, WTAF-TV, Philadelphia.
Boston Garden, 3:10 remaining in regulation play, and Cup fever's the sign, and it has to be for everyone here. And Don, I would have to say honestly, after that opening surge by the Bruins in the first 12, 13 minutes, I wouldn't really have thought at that juncture that we would be 2-2 with 3:10 left in the third period.
Strange you should say that. That same thought was crossing my mind as I looked back at my score sheet in that first period. Both Boston goals coming within a span of 57 seconds. Face-off will be in the circle to the right of Perrant as Fred Shero goes with the Kindrachuk line, and this line has been a very successful line in this series, especially tonight against Boston.
Ed Van Impe looked exhausted as he hit the bench.
Joe Watson along with Moose DuPont, the defensive combo on for the Flyers right now. Nolé on the right wing, starts out, feeds ahead for Kindrachuk. Kindrachuk from the right wing, winds the backhander off the Boston boards. Behind the net, Gilbert gives the puck away. Kindrachuk's got it, looking for an open man, checked tightly by Shepard. We're going to get a stoppage in play, and we'll have a face-off in the Boston zone to the left of Gilles Gilbert.
Well, along with Selesky and Kindrachuk, Freddie Nolé has got the whippet on the right wing. Simon Nolé, who may have right now, Don, the freshest legs in the arena, as both these clubs in a warm building and a tough game, and The Bruins showing the rust a little bit now and conditioning, and the Flyers, of course, going down to the last drop of gasoline after that Rangers series.
On the face-off in the Boston end, Dallas Smith behind his own net. Smith feeds out to Shepard on the left wing, ahead for Busick, hops over his stick. Nolay's there at the red line, knocked loose by Busick as the Bruins try to set up. Shepard winds it into the corner, comes back to Vande. His shot way wide to the stick side of Perrant. Nolay trying to move it out. Watson has Busick tied up. Kindrachuk takes a hard bump from Shepard. Still controls the puck. Returns it to Joe Watson. Watson off the boards for Nolay. Nolay moves it ahead for Selesky. Selesky's got to do it alone. His shot is wide on the far side. Rebound all the way back to center ice. Dupont slowed down by Shepard. Selesky winds it back into the Boston corner as we're down to 2:05 left in the third period. Clark on for the Flyers. He checks Vadnais closely. Now the puck is picked up by Tom Bladen all the way back to the Flyer backboard. Reverses direction on Schmatz to Shea Kim. Puck just flipped to center ice by Bladen. Sims waits for Cashman to clear. Drives from center ice. Glove save Perrant. The Flyers regroup in their own zone. Van Impe up the left wing to Barber. Gives it away to Hodge. Van Impe trying to clear out. Can't do it. Esposito checked off the puck by Perrant. Bladen off the board. Hops over Sims' stick to center ice. And Orr, who's seen a lot of ice time tonight, is back on for the Bruins. Clark winds a backhander behind the Boston net. We're down to 1:20 left in third period play. Score tied 2-2. Orr leads Al Sims. Sims across the red line on the left wing. Puts it behind the Flyers net. Picked up by Bladen. Off the boards for Barber. Gets inside Hodge. Moves it ahead for Clark. 1 minute left in the third period as Clark comes across the blue line. In the flat shot, deflected wide by Bill Barber as he slid backwards toward the Boston net.
Well, there it was. The Flyers almost had what could have been a tremendously inspiring goal. Clark, a beautiful feed to Flett. He tried to draw it past, Gilbert did, but then as it was in the crease, Billy Barber was checked through. Bumped it, and it just slid wide to the open corner. Great play by Clark, and Flett almost finished it off. Got the puck past Gilbert, and then it just trickled by the open corner off the leg of Barber, and Orr smothered it before Clark could dig it out and come around from behind with Gilbert out of position. 55 seconds remaining in regulation play. And 15,003 collective hearts here went, oh, after that play done.
And can you imagine the countless thousands in the Philadelphia area who were heartened by the possibilities of a goal with less than a minute to go. Face-off to the right of Gilbert. Off the face-off, McLeish tried to pick that far corner. Kept in by Joe Watson. Goes behind the Boston net. Double-teaming Orr is Lansbury and McLeish. Puck comes to center ice. Hodge on the move for it. Poked free back to center ice by Watson. Esposito loses to Lansbury. Lansbury gets inside, but loses control, and now it's Esposito to Cashman. 34 seconds left in the period. Cashman gets by Watson deep in the right wing corner. Checked off the puck and upended by Dupont. Their skates are locked. Hodge centering pass. Orr, the drive, and he scores. Number 4 has done it again.
Well, there it was. The lucky bounce. And it's set up with all people Bobby Orr, who just about 33 seconds after the Flyers almost took the lead, the Wonder Man has scored with 22 seconds left, and the Bruins lead at 3-2. And again, it was that play where it went into the corner. Cashman was taken right out by Dupont, and Dupont appeared to have the ability to get the puck. His skate caught, Cashman's skate couldn't make the play. Hodge dug it out right to Orr in front, and Orr fired it home past the screen Perrant at 1938. Well, Don, the opportunity of all times to get a skate hook as Dupont threw a great check against Cashman to take him off, appeared headed for the puck to control. As he reached for the puck, the skate caught, he went down, he could never reach the puck. Hodge, unchallenged, went behind the net, threw it out in front, and Orr scored and did the cha-cha inside the Flyers zone.
Bobby Orr, his second series goal. He's got 11 assists now to go along with it. Ken Hodge gets an assist. Cashman gets the other assist. The goal coming at 19:38. And as Gene pointed out, a very astute observation that the next goal, with so little time left, undoubtedly will prove to be the winning goal. And what can you say about the superstar?
Of all people, to be alone in front, but opportunistically in the right place. And Moose Dupont has to really feel badly now. Just through the fates of fortune and a lock skate, the Bruins got the chippy set up for the lead goal, but 22 seconds remaining and anything could happen.
I think Dupont just got a misconduct from Dave Newell, which will also come at 19:38.
And if so, that would leave the Flyers 3 defensive men short in the event that they would score. Yeah, Dupont picks up the misconduct.
Dupont was complaining vociferously about plays should have been stopped. I'm guessing at that, Gene, that plays should have been stopped when the skates were locked. But how many times have you seen the same play happen when play does continue and they just stay there until the next stoppage? Of course, had that puck come outside the zone, it would have worked to the Flyers' advantage because they couldn't bring it back in with Cashman still locked up with Dupont.
Right. Well, 22 seconds left on. There's time.
On the face-off, Bladen stopped by Vadnais. Dallas Smith broke it up, and we've got an offside Flyers as we're down to 17 seconds. One wonders, well, as Bernie Perrant heads for the Flyers net, perhaps they will go with that sixth skater and just hope they can get the right setup for the perfect shot and send this one into sudden death overtime.
All right, Perrant to the bench directly below us. Flyers will go 6 forward, but they're going to have to come up with the good... They're going to have to get the kind of play the Bruins got to take the lead. Flyers really came back from a 2-0 deficit, and they're going to chomp on that one till Thursday, Don. The clash skates and the setup by Hodge.
Okay, face-off outside the Boston line. Clark against Esposito. Face-off controlled by Esposito, and he sends it the length of the ice. It will be icing as it's touched up by Barber, and he moved in a hurry to save what little valuable time was left as we're down to 9 seconds.
Don, there was 10 seconds left when the whistle blew, the clock stopped, and the tick went off, and the Flyers directly below us pounded on the dashes complaining about that.
I think you'll find this clock is geared that way that after the button is pressed, it clicks one more time.
Perhaps a bad strategic play, Don, by Esposito, who controlled the puck, and rather than perhaps giving it back to Orr and let him work it around, fired the blind shot on a gamble, and in doing so and missing, he gives the Flyers life with a face-off where they want it in the circle to the right of Gilbert with 9 seconds remaining, and so they'll go the 6 forwards. They have out there Lonsbury, Clark, and McLeish, Dornhofer with Bladen and Barber at the point. Now Orr is going over along with Newell. I just wanted to check the reason for the discussion at the clock, and it's going to remain at 9-6. Now it looks like Shepard is being sent out by Beth Gitlin, which shows you how much the Boston coach thinks of this youngster, and takes off Vadnais. So he has out there Esposito with Orr, Dallas Smith, Cashman, and Shepard. Don, 9 seconds to go.
Well, still enough time. Still enough time if they can get the perfect setup off the faceoff. This means Clark has got to win the draw and get it to the open man. They're bunching up in front of Gilbert because they figure it's going to go to Bladen. Draw goes to Barber. The shot hits Esposito. 7 seconds. Going for the loose puck is Shepard. Taps it toward the open net. Cashman will get there. Hits the back of the net. And time runs out here at the Boston Garden as the Bruins come storming from behind to win it in the final seconds. The final score at 3-2 Boston. We'll be back with a wrap-up after these words.